Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for December 4th. We're going to take a look at the US Japanese Yen pair first. I'm expecting this pair to move as high as 94.20 and as low as 91.04. Now look for some resistance to come in around 92.50 and look for some support around 92.00. Now let's switch over to the Euro USD pair. This particular pair, I'm expecting it to move as high as 129.46 and on the very low side 124.19. Now look for some resistance to come into this market around 128.01 and look for support around 127.14. Now, if you recall from yesterday, we had a inside bar that we were looking for. We were triggered on the downside, and unfortunately, we were stopped out at a loss of 35 pips on that particular move. However, the one to the upside did retrace, and it retraced to our first target and our second target, and that gave us a profit of 34 pips. So we're pretty much even for that particular trade. Now this pair is moving sideways for the most part. Really have to see a close below, and I'd have to zoom out for y'all to see this. Basically, we need a break below these lows or above these highs, a close above those to really get a direction for this pair. It's pretty much just been moving sideways for the most part. Now the pound, on the other hand, it's starting to move lower. We'll just have to wait and see a few more sessions, a few more closes, if we can get a good close below this support level. We broke it today, but it pulled way back above previous support from the other day. So we'll just have to wait and see if we get a reversal or not. Now, looking at our range for this pair, looking for it to move as high as 149.35 and as low as 142.79. Now look for some resistance around 147.23 and look for some support around 145.58 for this particular pair. Let's switch over to the US Swiss pair. This particular pair I'm expecting to move as high as 122.77, although that's very high, and as low as 118.50. Now look for some resistance around 119.93 and support at 119.24. And I know that's pretty close, but we should see some resistance and support at those levels. This pair is pretty much just moving sideways. We would need a good close above this this point, this resistance area, and or below this support area to have a good, distinct direction. Now we did have some other pairs that we looked at for inside bars yesterday. This was one of them. This was one that we had. You notice we had a high and a low that was greater than the previous bar, or the next bar. So we're looking to go short on this one. We did do that. Unfortunately, it did pull back against us, and we're out at a 47 pip loss for that particular trade. Now we had one more that we were looking at, and that was this one, the Euro Australian dollar. We have our outside bar here, inside bar, and we looked to go long in this particular case and looked for it to move up to 2.0100. We're still in this trade. Currently we have a stop loss at 196.76. If this session closes up, then we will most likely move our stop loss up, possibly to break even. We'll just have to see how far this actually goes. Now what I'm looking for during this next session, if you switch over to the New Zealand US dollar pair, this particular pair has been moving sideways for the past 3 sessions. We had this large move, but basically I'm looking for a break above this high or below these lows. I believe this is the session that has the lowest low. Basically looking for a break above this and looking for it to move to this point, which is pretty much where the be around 0.5456 on that particular move. And for this one, looking for it to move down to these sessions, close for this one and the open for this session, and if it breaks these lows. So that's kind of what I'm looking for this next session. Now, we had the pound releasing their rate decision today. It was as expected at 2%. And the Eurozone released their rate decision. It dropped a little bit further than anticipated, from 3.25% down to 2.5%. Now, looking ahead for tomorrow, we have the Canadian dollar releasing their employment data at 7 a.m. Eastern Time for November. The consensus is that it has dropped from 9.5K down to negative 15.0K, which will be negative news for the Canadian dollar. Now, the U.S. has their non-farm payroll being released for November. That's at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus is that it has dropped from negative 240K down to negative 325K. So you definitely want to take note of this news announcement. It's the second largest news announcement as far as moving the market that you can have, is the non-farm payroll. The other one would be an interest rate hike. Well, that about does it for today. Until tomorrow, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.